Gigi, do you see this? This is so embarrassing. Oh my god. What the fuck? Alright, everybody. Welcome back to Josh Speaks. We are back. We are live. We are in action. Hey, Kennedy, baby. So, Mother said a little something like... Oh, 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 you. I've been drinking, I get filthy when that liquor get into me. I've been thinking. I was feeling some type of way because, again, the way that media promote shit, like, they make it seem like the LGBT community this, the LGBT community, oh, they were arguing because Mother did a show. Baby, ain't nobody worrying about what Mother did in Dubai. We love the fact that Mother copped that 24 mil. Bitch. No shade. Like, nobody worried about that. I just hate when, media outlets, they try to like I said in the other live, like, it's just like they're nitpicking. Like, maybe 2 or 3 people from the LGBT community did say that they felt some type of way about Mother performing in Dubai, but to try to make it seem like everybody in the community is feeling some type of way about it, I feel like that just brings a negative, like, energy into the atmosphere. But as I tell everybody, I'm not mad at Mother, and maybe I am biased a little bit with certain things when it comes to Beyonce. I'm gonna be real. But I really do feel like we've been letting white America and just white people, whether that's our top elites, we've been letting them get away with shit for years. So it's like, if she's doing something, that maybe the girls don't approve of, like, oh well, at the end of the day, she's a black woman. She did her shit. She deserves everything that she has. So, hey baby, hey sis. I was just talking with my homeboy about how people just make these bold general statements about the community, and it's like, you can't make bold general statements about anybody when you really get into it, like whether, you're okay, Gigi, whether you're talking about white people, because a lot of times, even myself, I'm guilty of it. That's also what I was thinking. I just feel like the world is one big contradictory, like, melting pot. Like, even myself, sometimes I see like, oh yeah, because white people and da-da-da-da-da, but we cannot generalize. We cannot generalize, guys. Stereotypes could culturally be more correct, like black people eating chicken. I mean, I do feel like, now, gag, my cousin does not like chicken, and she's black. Like, she's a mama, she's black, she loves her blackness, and she just does not like chicken. She don't like it baked, she don't like it fried. So, that's what I'm saying. You cannot generalize. There's somebody always out here to gag you. But other than that, the whole black people and chicken stereotype, like, I mean, for the most part, I do feel like some stereotypes, we have to use them a little bit to, like, assimilate. Like, we're human beings. Like, we need some type of, like, association. Perfect. We're gonna cut right into it. Gigi is ready. So, everybody, help me welcome the beautiful, the glamorous Gigi.
Yeah,
Hi, baby doll. How are you tonight?
I'm doing pretty motherfucking good. I can't complain too much. Let me just
Yes.
get my lighting real quick.
Oh my god, what the fuck?
But I'm not doing too bad. I'm pretty good.
I know, I am too.
excited. Got my wine, my thing going. You know, I'm ready for the
Yes.
shit.
So, what, like, how was your day? Like, what were you doing today?
So, give me 1 second.
Hey guys, thanks so much for dropping in.
Whew, yes, but today was pretty cool. Just content creating, just
I've been
creating
seeing.
content, honey.
Yes.
That's it. Yeah, just creating
Hmm.
some content and just
Yes,
getting it out in
you're
the
looking
public.
good. As I said, everybody, Gigi is here, the beautiful, the glamorous. I'm really,
What's
huh?
up, y'all? I said, "What's
Yes.
up,
I'm really
y'all?"
glad that we were able to do this because for the past like fucking week, we've been like, tit for tatting and da 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 and
I
da da da.
know.
So I'm so happy.
We've been chasing these down now.
Yes. Um, so what has been your week like? What's something that you've been obsessing about like the past week? Like what's something, whether it's a song, whether it's a TV show, like what has been your weekly obsession?
Oh my God. Okay. My weekly obsession has been Jamaican music right now.
Okay.
It's been my weekly. It's just I've been
You've
obsessed.
been
I've been getting
twerking.
into it. So I'm listening to a lot of Jamaican music and just kind of getting familiar with the culture and
Okay, you
stuff
be in
like
the house
that.
twerking and shit. Ring a ling a
Yeah,
ling.
twerking wine is definitely wine. Yes,
Yes.
right. Feminine, that feminine energy. Y'all know I talk about feminine energy. I just did a video about
Yes.
that.
So Gigi, like I said, like you an all around glam type of girl. You do makeup, you do hair, and as you just mentioned, like you also have a YouTube. Tell me a little bit about how you got
Yeah.
into like this life of glam. Like what got you into makeup, what you got you into hair. Tell me about that.
Oh my God. So it's so funny when I tell people this because people think it was kind of like a thing that I just naturally got into because I wanted to do it. Not necessarily. It started off with me actually transitioning. And as I was transitioning, I had to learn how to, do my makeup to appear more feminine. In the beginning of your transition, you don't have a
Yeah.
lot to work with. You're not on
Not
hormones,
a lot to work
at
with.
14
Yeah.
years old. Right. 13, 14 years old, I didn't have access to hormones at that time. And so I learned how to just feminize myself naturally, like with
Hmm.
makeup and hair. And then that's how I got into it. And then, my friends, like the homegirls I had at the time around me, they was like, all right, bitch, you doing pretty
Right.
good. Do my hair. And I'm just like, all right, cool. I do your hair too, bitch. And I'm doing their hair and doing their makeup. And it grew from there. It grew from actually an
Hmm.
insecurity. So, yeah, that was how I actually got into doing makeup. And then it was just like, it just kind of took over my life from there. It was just like, okay, I went to
Hmm.
cosmetology school,
You did that
because
after
I
high
was
school?
good at
You went
it.
to cosmetology school separately after high school because,
No, no, no,
right, from,
no, no. I went to school,
okay.
I went to school for the high school, but I transitioned
Oh,
actually
okay.
in middle school. So me transitioning in middle school, that's where it kind of
Right.
it sparked my passion for it. And so going to high school when you had to choose a trade, it was just like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna do cosmetology because I always
Mm-hmm.
did art. When I was young, I always did art and made sculptures. So once I kind of lost the drive to do art, it was like I expressed my creativity through my own self through doing my makeup and my hair, and then they wanted it, and then it was like, okay, going to school for cosmetology, and then it's just like one thing led
That's
to
how life
another.
works. I love it. You, like you said, you gotta
Yeah,
do what you can so achieve what you need to achieve. I love that.
yeah, absolutely.
Also, speaking of YouTube, I saw that you were on YouTube. I watched the video. You were speaking about like narcissistic relationships, like people being in relationships with
Hmm.
narcissists. I thought that that was a really interesting topic because you would be surprised. Like, especially I feel like in the height of this whole Blueface and like Krishan type of thing, it's just like, and not even
Yeah.
just them, just like relationships in general, like a lot of shit that like our parents were used to. When you really dissect it and clock it, it's
Mhm.
like, baby, no, that's not just a street nigga. Like that nigga, he's a narcissist, baby. So,
Yeah.
what have you
Yeah.
ever like
Yeah.
have you experienced like being in a relationship with somebody who, had the qualities of a narcissist?
Um, I actually
Yeah,
did. I
yeah,
actually
no
did. Give me
problem.
one
Hey
second.
guys, thanks so much for dropping in. This
But yes, oh my God.
girl,
Can
talk
I
about
talk
it,
about it?
honey.
Whew. My experience with narcissists and being in narcissistic a relationship, or definitely a person that has strong signs of being a narcissist, who it started when I was a teenager in my first relationship that I ever had. And it started off as like they were really into me, you know, affirmed me. And it kind of turned south. It's just like once the image of who they think you are, the perfect image of who they think you are, wears off, and they find out that, oh, you're an actual person and
Yeah.
you have flaws and shit like that, then it's the, you know, the love isn't really genuine. Then people could turn on you and start using you in those relationships. And that's how I kind of found out what a narcissist is, just from some of the behaviors. And I'm like, okay, this is like from that point, and then from the relationships that I had after that, I kind of seen a pattern with men. And so that's when I said
Hmm.
to myself, okay, I got to do more research on what a narcissist is. And that's kind of how I discovered what narcissistic
Hmm.
men were
And yeah,
like.
sometimes it takes
Yeah.
that, especially with, and that's what I found interesting. Like you knew the specific terminology. A lot of people, they don't like. I feel like nowadays, because I study psychology, so it was like I said, narcissism. That's like a more of a psychological term. So it's just like I feel like
Yeah.
nowadays people are becoming more accustomed to the lingo, narcissism and
Yeah.
depression and anxiety. So I think that that's like dope that you was able to like recognize that and like pinpoint it. Like, damn, like. Because, it takes some people, like, so they're 50 to realize, like, damn, like, I was fucking with somebody that,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It takes a lot of just being brutally honest with yourself, and just really looking at character traits that are like
yeah,
consistent, okay, and like really identify narcissists, like you were saying. It's like the street nigga. We thinking the street nigga, isn't the narcissist, when it's like a majority of the street
got a
niggas are
lot of
narcissists.
issues.
And our culture as black people and as black women, we like to, go after that type, the bad boy type, and then we have to find out the hard way that, damn, that person was a
Right,
hardcore fucking
hardcore.
narcissist.
Am I blurry? Like, do these headphones sound muffled? How do I sound?
You sound pretty clear for the most part. A
Oh,
little, just a tinge. No,
okay.
not really.
Um, so tell me a little bit about your like dating. Like, what is it like dating Gigi? Like, what type of guys does Gigi like?
Oh my God. Okay, so my type has really changed throughout the years. Like I said, I was into the narcissistic personality that I didn't know at that time. But now I feel like me being a grown woman now, like my type has
Okay.
completely changed. Like the
Sugar
type of men that I see
daddy.
now is
Upper echelon.
like it
Okay.
is, yeah, I kind of like the nerdy
Hmm.
kind of guy, like, that just kind of does him. That's not really, doesn't conform to like the street nigga type. Like, just do you, be you. You know, if you want to wear
Yes.
sandals, fuck it, wear sandals, nigga. I ain't like, you know.
Yes.
You know
Somebody that's
like to wear
comfortable with
suits
themselves and
now.
not like hyper masculine, pretty much.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. Someone that is a little bit more in touch
Hmm.
with like that feminine energy. Just still a man, you can be still in touch with your masculine energy. I want you still to be masculine, but ultimately it's like I need you to still be able to connect with me on a certain level and not just be hyper masculine all the fucking time, because then it feels like as a woman that seeks emotional compatibility, it won't, you know, it won't be a strong connection.
Exactly. I saw recently actually on the Shade Room, Zaria Wade, Dwayne Wade's daughter. She was, I think, going to prom. Yeah, she looks so pretty. But of course, she's getting negative backlash, you know, from the media. What do you feel about just that topic, like more specifically, you know, individuals transitioning like under the age of 18 and like having that support from your parents and like wanting to, you know, dress a certain type of way? Like what do you feel about that, and like what's been going on with the whole Dwayne Wade situation?
Okay, so this is my thing. It's so funny how we shade, like as a community, we shade trans people when they grow up and then they're big ass men and they look crazy or got the deep voice or you know, just anything that's outside of what we think
Right.
a woman should be. And then when it comes to an opportunity to kind of treat their medical, because this is someone's medical, their medical
Right.
situation. A lot of people are speaking on a child's medical situation, but then if that child doesn't get the right medical treatment, then they grow up and then you're still talking about them even more, because now you're talking about how big their feet are, their hands are, when they were younger, they had a chance to correct that medical situation then and there, so it won't be as much criticism from the media, from people, because that is definitely a real thing. I know for me, I transitioned at a pretty young age. I came out about like 12. Identifying, started to dress up at 13, was on blockers at about
Were
14.
your
Like
parents
I
was
went
like
through,
they was with that, or like that's amazing that you had that
yeah,
support?
yes. So my grandmother
Okay.
and my grandfather supported me down. They supported me
Yes.
to the end, they fought for me. My grandfather, he fought for me in schools to let people know, respect my grandchild, that she's not using the girls' bathroom, you know, the boys' bathroom. And I really think that, like, Dwayne, I see that in him, like a father that gives a fuck about his child and the well-being of his child and to
Yes.
see them happy. Because if you don't treat this medical, because we forget that being trans is a medical situation, you know,
Right.
medical problem. Okay. So it's like when you deny someone of
That
the
could
right
cause
treatment,
issues.
like they're
Yeah.
gonna grow up. Yeah, you know, it's like they're gonna go out in the world to be misguided. What he doing as a father is simply taking care of his child and looking at the betterment of his child and taking care of his child medical need. And that's nobody's business, you know, that has something negative to say about it. Because it's plenty of us like this. And this is the new society where we're gonna be changing and evolving. This is literally her, seeing her is the
Yes.
evolution of trans people, you know. And I just think that a lot of people hate to see that we do have loving and supportive parents that support
I
us.
love that. I love that.
But, you
That's
know,
literally what I was saying as well too, because I actually spoke on this situation when Boosie was running his beef suckers. When come to find out, his daughter is a lesbian, which I don't even like to say that like it's a
like it's a downside thing because it's like, oh well, your daughter is a lesbian, but you got to be careful. I do feel like, and also, like you said, people are going to talk regardless. If Dwayne Wade wasn't provided, like you said, wasn't provided for his daughter, the girls would have been, oh,
Yep.
like he don't care, da 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 da. And now that he is supporting his daughter throughout her transition, people got something to say. So it's just like you said, you can't really please people. You just got to do what you can, you know.
Absolutely, you really do have to do what's best for you and for your family. And I feel like for anybody,
Okay.
give me 1 second because my phone is doing a number. It's letting me know, man. It's letting me know. But yeah, but like for people to not support your
Yeah,
child because they're
it's
trans
toxic.
is absolute. That's just you saying, oh, your child has a mental
Yeah,
disorder, so
that's yeah.
I or I'm gonna disown you because you got a mental disorder. Then we would look at people like that, like that's mentally retarded or something like that. We'll look at them people like they are horrible ass people. Oh my God, no, you didn't do that to your child, or their child got a disfigured arm or anything. We don't do that to those type of people, but it's for some need for trans people and
Talk
trans
about it.
women, and particularly to yeah. It's a real big need for us to fucking demonize us and to act like that we don't exist. Like this is just all in our head. No, it's not all in our head. It's in
And
our
it's what
fucking
niggas
brain,
be
literally.
fucking with low
It's a thing.
key. That's another thing. Like, if it's in my head, then it's in your head. Let's talk about that. Like, but that's a separate branch off. But I love when you mentioned like the whole demonizing thing because I wanted to also get into like YouTube. I saw that you were speaking about more spiritual views as well on your YouTube channel. Um, and that's literally what I've been preaching for years. Like at the end of the day, I feel like when it comes to the community, it's so over sexualized. It's such a negative connotation. It's sex, 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 sex. How do y'all
Yes.
have sex? God don't like that because two men shouldn't be having sex. Well, what about God approving it because it's a relationship of two human beings that love each other, which is what God loves, right? God, he accepts love.
So
So it's just the idea that it's just this over sexualized type of thing. And don't get me wrong, there are people in the LGBT community that some people might have experienced that was low down or more sexual, but straight people are like that too. I just hate the contradictions. Like you said, they're straight prostitutes. They're straight, so what was your background like, just speaking off the terms of like spirituality? Like, did you grow up in church and what does spirituality mean to you?
okay, so I did grow up in church. And I went to a really good church that did not speak against gay people or trans.
Not
My church
my
did not
church
do that.
girl.
It,
My
it,
church affirmed.
it, you know, so I will say I had, and I think that's why I had also supportive grandparents because the message that also was conveyed was to still love, was to love. And also, like you asked me, what does spirituality mean to me? Spirituality means to
Mm,
me is relationship,
mm,
relationship
mm.
with. So as long if how God says in the Bible, I ain't no
Right.
scripture quoting type of. But if he be for me, who
Right.
can be against me? So God approved of this. Like you said, like why wouldn't God approve of two loving human
Right.
beings? They don't need to procreate. We already got humans that procreate. And I think that people also can't their minds are so small and we have to learn that your
Yeah,
thoughts
you
are
can't
not
put God in
God's
a
thoughts.
box. Yeah, and some people preach that. I love that because I was thinking about that a lot. You will hear preachers, they preach that a lot. God he's big, he's infinite, but the way that you're thinking, it's closed-minded. It's very Baltimore City. Like, It's small. It's you go to Northeast Market and you see a bitch that you went to elementary school with. Like, yeah, like it's just
I
yeah.
know, bro. And so we have to really understand that God comes in all different forms, okay? It just wasn't one form that he decided to make and say, okay, this is the set form of human beings and human creation, and this is it. It's only
Right.
two, and that's it. Like, no, baby. God he wanted to express himself in different ways, and he decided to express himself like this. So when people, that's why I say don't judge your neighbor, because you sitting up there and people judging me, but you sitting up there and you judging God though. But you say you love God, judging his creation. You judging what he made, and
Yes.
he thought it was beautiful. He made it. He made it and said it was good.
On what he say? What was that? The seventh day?
So
Jesus.
okay,
Yes.
he made
Oh my
it
God.
good. So for people try to ostracize us and demonize us and feel like, oh, that trans people or gay people or people of any different type of experience that's different from theirs is demon and crazy, and they just hallucinating in their mind. These people know. Even if we want to get down to, and now I don't totally understand it, but I can I can understand it, okay, a little bit, to say even about, queer people. I don't know what it's necessarily like to not identify with a man or a woman, but I can identify that God has many forms that he wants to come in. So if the fuck he decide he don't want to be non-gender conforming, then who the fuck am I to say, no, you gotta choose something? No, I chose. You gotta choose. Like, bitch, ain't nobody gotta choose nothing. That's who those are. Okay? And so just for me, back to my own experience as a trans person, I had to really I had to really take away some of the ideologies that I was taught and that was projected in society about trans people, because it was one point I didn't fucking know, because there was so much misinformation going around. So
for sure, I love that.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Shania. Yes, Shania. Hey, baby. I love it. Yeah. I lost my train of thought, which I know. It's the heady. Do you think, do you come across a lot of have you in your before in your lifetime, have you ever had to battle with religious girls or people try to tell you no, you shouldn't be doing this, or that I know that you mentioned you had a great support system, but what were some of the main challenges that you would say that you had to face being a woman of the trans experience?
Oh, wow. I would think my biggest thing was respect. My thing was just people respecting me. And back to just what you mentioned in the beginning of your statement, but when it came to religion, I had to deal with certain families. Even though my grandparents were taught to love, just love and support, just it still was that thing. Well, God still said he still love you, but so they had to undo their own mindset and to learn when the deeper I grew into a woman, more they accepted me and kind of I feel like God revealed to them on their separate turn to be like, all right, that person is like that. They it's like that. They always my grandfather used to let me play with Barbie dolls. And my grandfather really didn't have any spiritual. It was always my grandmother, all right, Gigi, but just don't get rid of this and just don't do this. And it was girl, I'm doing
the whole nine, honey.
Want you, he still made you beautiful. And I'm like, yeah, he did make me beautiful. He wanted me to be like so. And they don't do that now. They don't do that now. But in the beginning, you know, it was like that little bit, but it was still mainly
Because the thing
love and support.
is, I feel like, not to
Even
cut you
like,
off, but I had to learn so much. Like, even dealing with my mother, who was a little bit more unaccepting at first. And even like you said, we're always going to go through things. We're always going to go through those little things that our straight friends might say that'll throw us off a little bit. Like, because people have their opinions, like they have their own, you know. But I wanted to say that sometimes, you know, as far as with parents, like it takes them time as well too. And I had to learn that, you know, through my relationship with my mother. Like, it's shit that she don't understand. Like, she just grew up, you know, around her homegirls, and it was just a key, you know. But it was like, yeah, like, no, your son is, yeah, a baddie. The fuck. But yeah, they come
yeah,
around, like, honestly. And I was told that so much when I was like in my late teens, but it's the truth. They will eventually end up coming around. It may not be what we like, and it may not be them going to Pride with us, waving a flag and this and that,
yeah,
but it's about accepting the fact that this is who I am. Mhm.
right, and still loving me and supporting me
Mhm.
regardless. So, you know, that was a big part, and I'm still grateful for. But other than that, I really haven't had any like people like,
Yeah.
you know, though religious be like, you know, you should. I'm just like, girl, if he
Who?
before me, who the fuck you can't no more. But back to the next part that you said in your statement, like how like some of the biggest challenges that I have as a trans person, and it would be that I've had, you know,
Yeah,
respect. It
you were
was the
saying that.
respect part. And for me, it was so funny because it felt like in the beginning of my transition, when no one really took me serious, it was just like, all right, she a
Right.
girl,
When you
yeah.
really
But then it
started,
was like, oh,
yeah. I can. Yeah,
get
that's annoying. Because bitches take you for a joke, like, but at the end of the day, like you said, like, no, like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. And then when you grow up, when you know, they saying like, oh bitch, hold on, the
Mhm.
hormones is whatever you doing is okay. Then I started to get more disrespect in my transition from women. And not saying necessarily that I didn't get it back from them, but it was a lot more from men, to be honest. But it would seem like when I, you know, really kind of grown into myself a little bit, I started to get a lot of disrespect from women. And I love women down. You know, I work with women. Shit, you know, no shade against, you know, cisgendered women. But I just noticed that I started to get a lot
Yeah.
of shade, like from women respect me. Oh, it's he
Oh
now,
Lord, the girls will switch
and
up, honey. That's what I like. They will switch up. I know.
oh, you she, and yeah, in the beginning now you he, and like I'm just like, bitch, how the
Bitch, how
fuck,
the fuck,
like,
girl?
bitch, do you see? Hey, where you get, bitch? And like, if you didn't know
That's what
that,
my
you would
cousin
not
be
call
saying.
me
Yeah,
that, but
like,
because you know,
like what you see, you know, it's just a woman. So it's just like people be just trying to play in your face. Like, yeah.
yeah, yeah. So I feel like now my biggest challenge is just like getting respect, and for women to respect me, because men honestly are
Right.
attracted to
Hmm.
me for the most part. They're not, they don't,
Yeah.
you know. So I'm not really getting disrespect from men. I work with women. Like I said, I'm mainly around women, and sometimes I feel like it can be that disrespect because they don't fully see me as a woman, as one of them. They just see me like an in-between type of thing, or a boy that, you know,
Hmm.
dressed up as a girl and or becoming a girl or whatever the fuck ideology that they have. I be having to really like check them. Like, it's even sometimes like when someone like talking like, yeah, you know, I'm getting my brows done and he doing it, and I'm just like,
Yeah. No.
bitch, you know, this
Yeah.
ain't he. Like, it you off like, bitch,
Right.
you just called me a he. I know you're not. And then it's so disrespectful because when you work so fucking hard, when you had to undergo this process, which is not an easy fucking process.
Talk about it.
You think so when you going in this process and bitch all this shit, I'm just
well, you good. You feeling it.
But you know, like, I done did all of this motherfucking shit and you gonna call me?
That's how I feel like, you know, bitches be talking about it though. Like I feel like them, the clients, they probably be home chopping it up with cause they're pumping your tea. But it's just like, cause again, just naturally off of what you see and what you respect, like that wouldn't come out of your mouth. So it's like you said, if she on the phone and just said something, like it's like you had to be, you know, talking about something or gossiping. Like, I don't know, that's my problem. I'm an overthinker. I be thinking too much into shit. But like you said, at the end of the day, it's business. Bitch, give me your coin. I don't give a fuck what you think or whatever. Like, whatever.
And I just want to make this disclaimer that it's most of my babies respect me, appreciate me, see me for me. But it's just a select few that just feel a need. It's just like, bitch, if you have respect for a person for who they are, if you them for who they are, even if you can't respect, even if you don't see me for who I am, but bitch, respect me. Call me my pro fucking name. You know what you fucking saying. Like, so for me, it's just like, just give me my motherfucking respect. Give me my respect because I worked my ass off. I went through too much shit as a woman, as a trans woman, in my experience to be disrespected and called a fucking he. Like, it's so disrespectful. And people think, like, oh, it's no big deal. Like, oh, my bad. I didn't mean it. Like, bitch, fucking disrespectful. Like, you're fucking disrespecting my whole life experience, my whole shit I just worked my ass off for. I cried, pleaded to God for, with the consultations and stuck myself 100 million times with needles. Like, no, like, no. You feel me? It's, respect my shit. Respect my motherfucking process. And if you can't respect it, please get away from me. If you can't respect it, I'm not asking you to respect it just to respect it. But if you're going to be around me, respect my shit. I don't give a fuck about if you don't see me as a woman or not. When you here, you respect me as a woman. Bitch, when you over there, you don't have to see me, respect me. I don't give a fuck. But when you want to get to know me, you want to be me, you want me in your life, you will respect me and see me for me. And that's on that.
Speaking of that, like you mentioned, like a lot of that respect you've been having to get from like some of it straight women. But I wanted to kind of just, I was wondering a little bit, when it comes to the trans community, like what about your relationship with like other trans women? Like, would you say that that's like catty? Like, is it like huh? Thank you, baby. I'm so happy. But no, I've marinated on these, and I was telling my girls all week, like, this is going to be a good one. Like, I'm really tying this in for GiGi. Like, period. Like, so yeah, like, yeah. She said, but yeah, like I like it's a plan. I'm a Sagittarius, so baby, it's okay, fire, that fire. Yes. 11/29.
Oh my God. That's synchronistic.
So yeah, like what have your experiences been with like other trans women, Yes.
I get you. I got you. Oh my God. Listen. Not bad. Not bad. Not bad. However, I do feel like because I'm not really in the scene as much, I feel like I'm one of those girls that people kind of know about, like, oh, I heard her, all right, cool. But because I'm not in the scene, it's like, you feel me? But I give mostly respect from, honestly, the girls. I get mostly respect. Sometimes I do feel, now these are just my personal feelings, feel like I'm just a little bit more ostracized because I don't do some of the things that the girls do in the
Like what?
community.
You mind sharing?
Like
Like what, honey? Come on, man.
I don't escort. You know, I'm not one of those girls
Yeah.
that's escort. I'm not, you know, I didn't really grow up in the ballroom scene per se. You know what I mean? So just who I am as a person is a little bit different from other people, and I feel like sometimes it may just not like coincide because I've like a lot of the girls, you know, they grew up in the ballroom scene. So when they meet another girl, they kind of like have like, it's like think that you are like them, like you do things and you like have some of the certain characteristics that they
Everybody's
have,
lifestyle is different.
Like,
Everybody culture, you know.
Yeah, is a little bit different. So I feel like sometimes I feel ostracized for that. And I don't like it because I really don't give a fuck. Like, bitch, if you do sex work, you know, if you overly flamboyant or whatever the fuck, I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Just don't be knocking me for being regular. Okay? Only thing. It's just I do feel kind of ostracized for that.
Okay, I love that. And you spoke on like ballroom a little bit. So were you ever in ballroom? Like, did you?
I had my fun. I had my little fun, but like I said, because me transitioning and already kind of not feeling that good about myself, it was like just too much fucking expectation. It was too much pressure.
And were you so you was walking realness, or just were you voguing? Did you ever?
Not really. I did like some voguing a little bit, but not really. I would mainly walk realness because everybody would be like, bitch, you need to walk realness. You need to walk realness. I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll fucking walk realness for y'all, bitch. But you know, I got tens and sometimes I got, but I just know sometimes those things when I didn't get my tens, it just made me feel so bad about myself. And I just felt like go home and just really like be like, bitch, what is it about me? Because it's just like, well, bitch, I go out in public and I'm pretty good. And I'm just like, some people, like, they look real, but
If they go
like,
out,
bitch, come on now. Like, they're ball, it's different expectations in the ballroom. I ain't even gonna get into the
I heard it's
politics
very
of it,
competitive.
but,
Like, you know, just like any other political arena, like you said, the politics and who wins this and who's legendary and this and that. I like ballroom, but I've been watching ballroom for years, like before that shit even got hot. I vogue a little bit, but I've been to balls before, but I don't walk like any categories, but I be voguing. I'm not gonna lie. I enjoy it because it's a story, you know. It's a way that I like to express myself.
it is.
Yeah.
I feel like the vogue.
Can we play a Vogue beat? Can you give me some hands?
Yeah,
Can you give me some hands?
just a little bit,
Okay.
a little bit. But I feel like back in the day, like I really did. I feel like because of the expectations of me, I feel like people wanted me to walk realness, but I honestly connected more with the vote. I do, which is funny because I can actually, especially when I was young,
Yes.
and I never wanted to do it, but it felt so much more
Yeah.
like an art to me than just walking.
Yeah.
It's just like, all right, bitch, okay, this I'm art too. I can see that the artistry in it, but the voguing, the dancing, the form was more art. You know, I related with the artist aspect of it, and you know, I feel like I never really went after that because I felt like I didn't want to be one of those girls, you know, that vogue. I don't
Okay, yeah.
So did it, but I was good
Okay.
at it.
So wrapping it up a little bit, Gigi, what advice, what is there any comments that you would like to make about just this era, like you said, of women or, the representation of trans women? Is there anything that you want to, add before we wrap up? Because we're going on pretty much an hour. Um, but yeah,
Okay.
is there anything that you want to highlight, about, or maybe give advice to, younger trans women and people that are transitioning?
Okay, I got you. I do have more so some something I wanted to say
Mm,
towards like the parents of their young trans people. Like I got something for the trans folks. I
right.
got something for y'all.
Get your piece
But
out.
um but as far as for the parents and the people, just the regular people, because we don't know when we have a trans, you don't really know if your child is gay or trans, because if you're a type of parent or person that's very closed the fuck off and that shows your dislike for anything that's outside of what you believe in, then you're gonna force trans people and or gay people under the rug to not feel comfortable with themselves, and you're kind of you're perpetuating the cycle of street workers, of sex workers, because these girls weren't raised like that. See, that's what I understand. Like for Zaya's aspect of her growing up, because she's not gonna have to grow up
Mhm.
and be a fucking sex worker. You feel me?
Different
You feel
narratives,
me?
yeah.
So right, so we need the parents, we need the people to respect trans. This is why, so we can evolve and become more than the stereotypes. But I feel like sometimes the society be liking us to stay down
Yes.
here. But, I'm just saying, as a people, we really need to elevate our thought process and really stop, like, just open up your hearts and realize that this is a medical problem. This is a medical situation. Even being gay, the person was born like that. It's their
Yeah.
brain. It's even science to
Yeah.
prove that. Okay, the brain can be feminized, can be feminine, or it
Yeah.
can be a whole, the whole thing. But we just need to understand that these people were made like this. We were made like this, and that we're not making this shit up. Support us, love us, and if you
I
don't love us,
don't
you
want
don't
the
have to
girls, so
love
I
us,
don't need the
okay?
girl support. I shoot for acceptance, but support is nice. But yeah, at the end of the day, like I don't, because people are fake. Human beings are fickle. They change. Sometimes they feel some type of way
They
about
did,
this, then they feel it sometimes. So just accept that I'm
they
me
did,
and I do the same. But yeah, I love that. I love that. I totally
yeah,
get what you're saying. I get what you're saying.
yeah. And for trans women, I would like to say, just become as beautiful as you could possibly be. Um, be yourself authentically. Know that your worth extends more than your physical beauty. That is an internal thing, and that you're more than your body. Okay, you're more than your sexuality, and you're more than your gender. And be yourself. Be yourself, and show people that we are more than what they think of us. And that's
That's
that.
that or not. So now, do we want to give the girls a
And that's,
hand battle before we
oh
get
my God.
off? I can put on a beat. Should I play a beat?
Oh, Rocky. I can't.
It's in a battle. It's like, no, we don't got to do that. But again,
No,
thanks so
oh
much,
my God.
Gigi, for coming on. This was so much fun. I'm actually going to call you when we get off of here just to like do a after show. Yeah.
Yes.
So thanks everybody for stopping in. Again, this is Josh Speaks. And tune in for next time.
Yes.
Yes, yes, yes. Oh my God.
Please.
Sorry. Gigi, drop your handles. Like, yes, drop everything.
me on YouTube. Y'all can follow me on Instagram, but we already on Instagram. But follow me on YouTube. It's the same as my my Instagram, GiGi the Glam Goddess. Okay, y'all. GiGi the Glam
Yes.
Goddess. All right.
All right, honey.
All right, y'all.
I'm gonna call you on regular call. All right, boo.
All right, I got you.
I feel like I gotta do the challenge over the Beyonce